To those who never want to have a child, what are your reasons? A friend told me once that I would probably be like the mom from Carrie, and there's no freaking way I would condemn a child to such a miserable life. Also, giving birth, frick that. JFC. The mom from Carrie is one of the scariest horror movie villains I've ever seen, because it's likely that she exists somewhere, except it's you, and you know it's you, so you avoid the full manifestation of your villainy by not giving birth. Well done. I would make a terrible dad. Great uncle but a terrible dad. Samazis. Uncling is extreme dad parenting and that's enough. I'm selfish and irresponsible and beset with it. I'm barely suited for houseplants and fish, much less human children. I'm stingy. I don't want something that takes up the majority of my life for the foreseeable future. And there is nothing wrong with that mentality. I am the same way, and I refuse to call myself selfish for wanting my life to myself. Choosing not to have kids is not selfish, and I refuse to let anyone tell me otherwise. It's taking care of yourself first, and that has value of its own. I'm too mentally unstable to provide a quality life for any potential kids. Since I am the oldest, I call my experience a free trial, and to make things short, I don't like it. They're expensive and I'm already in enough debt from college. They're a big commitment, and seeing how my siblings' lives have changed with kids, I look at that and don't want it. I like my freedom. I don't handle crying well, especially from kids' babies. They're rowdy, loud, messy and cause damage. If I could fast forward them to age 10, I'd be more open to it. I'm 28 and considering a vasectomy. When I find the right woman, maybe I'll change my mind, but I tend to look for women who don't have kids and would rather not have them. Too mentally ill from childhood trauma and have various autoimmune diseases. Wouldn't be fair to have a child when I'm not completely present for them. Love kids but not for me. Me, minus the autoimmune nightmare. I'm happy to be fun auntie, but there's no way I can ever trust myself raise a kid. As the eldest sibling in my family, I've already lived out my maternal dreams. Mental and chronic illness runs in my family and I can't risk passing it along. I don't want to put my body through pregnancy. It's a lot of responsibility and I rather live for myself and all the other things I rather do in the world. Once I'm a mom, I can never not be a mom. I like deciding what I can do whenever I want to without having to care for a child. I feel like a partner is already enough compromise, for a lack of a better word, of free time. Have nothing against kids though, just not for me. This is my main reason I'm on the fence right now, knowing I can never take it back, and it'll demand my care and attention every single day. I understand the immense responsibility and sacrifice there and choose instead to work on myself and continue to nurture my own experiences and growth through the one life I have. There's a difference between wanting a child and wanting to be a parent. One makes you a kid sound like an accessory, the other makes you think of the responsibility. 1. Mental health. I have extreme anxiety and ADHD. I don't want to have a kid and potentially put them through what I go through. 2. They're expensive. 3. Pregnancy is terrifying to me. Never want to try it. 4. Spite. Got tired real quick always being told I'd be a great mother, even when I announced that I don't like kids and never want any. For me it's especially point 3. That crap sounds so scary, heck no. I don't want to go through birth. I don't like the baby stage. Children and toddlers are fun and can be adorable but not 24/7. I like money and the peace of mind that I won't do anything to screw up their lives. Everyone I have said I don't want kids to will say I told you so. And finally, I'm not responsible or mature enough. Pregnancy and giving birth terrifies me. There is no way I could do that. Just never felt like I'd want to have kids when I was younger. And now, 42, female, I wake up every single day with immense gratitude that I never had or never will have kids, and it makes me so happy. My life is my own. I do what I want when I want, and it's very fulfilling. I don't have the delusion that having children would somehow guarantee love or that I won't be alone on my deathbed. Lots of people are alone on their deathbed anyway. I work in end-of-life care. Also, given the state of the earth with regards to climate change, I feel it's kinda crappy to keep making more humans. We probably can't turn this ship around. I got my tubes tied at 34 and every time I remember my tubes are tied I'm like, yes thank frick for that, just continuously, deeply happy about the choice. I love my life too much. I hate mess and noise. I love traveling whenever I like. I love going for trips and meals out with my husband. I love being able to do what I want whenever I want. I don't want to spend my days listening to crying, arguing, whining, doing the school run in the rain and shopping for food. The planet has plenty of humans and we have done a great job of wrecking the planet and treat animals so cruelly. I don't want to add to that problem. Bro, I can barely handle a full-time job and taking care of a cat. I do not have the time, money, patience, or desire to raise a kid. I want to live my life, not be weighed down with a responsibility I don't want and wouldn't be beneficial for me. I like having the freedom to not have to deal with all that. LOL same. I have one cat and even then sometimes I find it hard to afford her needs. Man, good quality cat food, cat shampoo and litter is expensive. A list of reasons. I have too much trauma and I'm scared of raising a human where I could accidentally project my trauma onto them. It is a big responsibility and IDK if I can handle that. I have a lot of genetic illnesses that I don't wish on anyone. I don't want to go through childbirth and all that jazz. Oh, also because people told me I will change my mind and now I just don't want it out of spite. Also because people told me I will change my mind and now I just don't want it out of spite. Honestly speaking, that's a great reason. Emo. I should justify why I want kids instead of finding reasons why I don't want them. In my case, I don't have a reason to want them. I don't have a reason to want them. Perfect answer for me. Our society is structured so that nearly everyone but the wealthy are living hand to mouth. I feel no security in my life and find life stressful. I can't imagine how bad that would be if I had to worry about another soul. Exactly, would just crack. I am selfish so I am not gonna sacrifice my time for them. I don't want to bring kids into this world if they can't be unconditionally loved. You need a good reason to have a child. You don't need one to not have one. Just as you don't need a reason not to have a freaking giraffe. 1. Kids are expensive. 2. I rather spend money on travel than children. 3. I want to retire early. 4. I only like children in small doses. 5. I rather do drugs at Burning Man than raise a child. I don't want to be that guy who tries to do both. 6. There is no decent return policy on kids. 7. I really like my me time. 8. Every time I see people with kids, I have an overwhelming feeling of dread. 9. I find people who have kids a little boring. To be honest, not always, but I know that their rockstar days are now behind them. I mean, I'm happy for people who want to have kids. I've also had friends confide in me that they wish they hadn't have had kids. This should be a frick yes or no decision. 9. All my friends have now disappeared due to having families. Boring would be fine. Can't even see them. Your vagina getting ripped during childbirth, 9 months in heck, pregnancy, but then childbirth and pregnancy aren't even the hardest parts of parenthood. Staying up at night, getting little to rest, changing smelly diapers, postpartum depression, physical and mental exhaustion, the financial strain of having a child, the unavoidable health damages of pregnancy, the list goes on. Seriously, what is there to like? I just never really wanted to. And I think if you're going to create another human being you should really want to. I don't think any more reason than that is necessary. I often had this conversation with my friends, so here is pretty much my reasoning, omitting the positive aspects. Some people want to be parents. It has never been my case. I love my nieces but honestly, children quickly get on my nerves. I was barely able to take care of my cat and you want me to manage a human being? I'm the kind of person that often changes mind, like to do whatever he wants and going back if need be. Where will be my return option if I have a child? Your life has to revolve around your child and that's just annoying. I want to be able to choose what is good and fun for me, not for my child. I know it may sound selfish but that's more about your personal expectations from life I guess. I know I would end up regretting my child if I had one. I don't like the foreseeable future of the world, and I don't want my kid to have to struggle. I'm terrified of pregnancy. I'm terrified of everything that can happen to them once they're born. They're really expensive and hard to take care of. They're not gonna be cute babies forever, and I'm afraid of not liking them later on. I'm afraid of having a girl and not want her cause I really only would like to have a boy. A kid is really the only thing that ties you up to a place and a job. I just don't want to go through the gross stuff. I would have them for my own entertainment, and it's not fair since life is hard. The world is hard, so they don't deserve to be brought into this world just cause I'll feel like I want a baby. Since the world is not underpopulated and in need of more people, all the reasons to have them are selfish. And again, that's not fair. They're not gonna be cute babies forever, and I'm afraid of not liking them later on. Interestingly, the baby phase is what puts me off. A child you can talk with, reason with. A toddler is a demanding potato. I can't do babies. I don't understand them. No idea what to do with them. I rather get a dog. As a male who never wanted a kid and now has one, I can say I still don't want one. Don't get me wrong. My buddy is now my whole world and I would do anything for him. But I never wanted a kid, and now I definitely wish I never had one. All my free time I had is gone. I don't really care about the money. He can have it all, and all my crap I collect too. He can have it. I just want my time back. Or some time. Anytime. I can't remember the last time I've a whole movie from beginning to end. I can't remember the last time I've just laid around listening to music. And when I do get time away from him, I catch up on stuff that hasn't gotten done, and I really don't enjoy the time. There's no such thing as me time anymore. Can't wait until he's out of the house. Just 16 more years to go. Thanks for posting this, man. Probably isn't easy to say, but it's good for people to hear. 1. I don't really care for being around them and don't believe for a second that it would be different if it were mine. 2. Assuming that have a child means reproduce biologically. There are plenty in the world and nobody needs a fresh one. I respect kids as people, and I wish everyone the very best that life can offer. I just feel I have no business being in charge of one. A fresh one, mayo. Too expensive. They're noisy. They're annoying. I don't like children. I don't think they're cute. I don't care about having someone to look after me when I'm old. Pregnancy is 9 months of body horror. Birth looks like the worst thing imaginable. I don't want to crap myself in a room full of doctors with their hands up my vag. High chance of death, injury during birth. Postnatal depression. A C-section sounds horrendous. The child could grow up to be a serial killer or just some C like a TikToker. Everything you do is now based around the child. Everything has to be child friendly. There's way too many people on the planet already. The world does not need one more. This world is crappy anyway, so they're not missing out on anything. If your kid starts crying on a plane or other journey, then everyone hates you. You lose all your freedom. Everyone judges parenting styles. You have another person living in your house for a minimum of 16-18 years. Being a mum defines you as a person. Children can put strain on the relationships you have with your so or other loved ones. I'd rather have a successful career and fun life with no responsibilities other than deciding our next holiday destination with my amazing CF partner. I also enjoy staying up late and sleeping in late without having to get up at any point to shove a tit or a bottle in a baby's face to make it shut up. Need I go on? I'm sure I can think of more. Don't want to commit my time nor money to raising a child. My wife and I want to travel and enjoy ourselves. Having a kid means not being able to do all that, and it is just not fun to deal with all the stress that comes with having a kid. Kids are annoying. I don't think I'm the type of person that can come home from work and then be able to make myself available to a kid who has loads of energy etc. when I just want a quiet night. I will have more spare money, spare time, and tbh why introduce an innocent child to this world that's full of crappy things? I have many reasons. I'm terrified at the thought of sharing my body with another being. I'm terrified of giving birth. I'm afraid of being unable to take care of and raise a child. I'm afraid of being unable to afford a child. I'm afraid of my past affecting my children. It's a lot of fear. The body horror aspect of pregnancy is something that's just not talked about, and it's so nice to see so many other women in this thread acknowledge that. I've felt the same way about having something else living inside me. Just pure abject disgust and horror. No thank you. I'm 47 and perimenopausal and don't regret my decision. Love other people's children because I can give them back. I guess I don't want my child to have an illness of some kind. Down syndrome, autism. Is it wrong to say I don't want to have a child live like that? I never know how to give this reason. I'm scared of having a neurodivergent kid. I don't want the added stress. If I had a kid that would up with Down syndrome, or autism, or anything else that would make being their parent extra hard, I know I would hate and resent that kid for something that I chose to do. I'm opting out. GF and I are in agreement not to have kids. There are so freaking many people on this little blue orb. Although I think it a shame that both our gene lines end here. It's selfish to think it's so important that we make a little us and try to cram it into this packed world. Expensive. I have little to no patience and a family history of psychosis during pregnancy and amplified postpartum depression. I can barely look after myself. There's no way I could look after a child. My mother was neglectful with me when I was young due to her own issues and I would never want to repeat that. Also, the idea of being pregnant creeps me out. I adore my nephews and that's enough for me. To be honest, I don't quite understand the impetus to have kids in the first place. I think that for a decision as consequential as bringing a life into the world, you better have a really good reason to do it. I just want it as a perfectly good reason to buy a chair, but not to have a child. Introspectively, I couldn't really come up with anything other than, maybe I will enjoy it, which, again, I think it's a great reason to try out a new restaurant, but not to have a child. As for stuff other people said, I found 2 justifications that held some water. One reason was that a child is supposed to bring meaning, purpose, and happiness into your life. I thought this one was selfish and not a good reason. In part because I feel that I am already happy with my life and the goals I have, but in part because if I wasn't, it would feel terribly unfair to put that responsibility on someone else. Another reason was that having a child is supposedly a fundamental part of the human experience. This is subjective, but I actually can't argue against it. If your view of being human is having children, then even though I disagree with your vision of humanity, that seems like a valid reason. I just don't buy into THST premise. It's not why don't I want to have a child, it's why would I? My species is going to survive without my input. Even my family will. There's loads of us. Some people hope a baby will make their lives magically meaningful, but I think that's just wishful thinking. If I'm giving up most of my wealth and time to have a child, I need a good reason. I find no joy in children. I don't think I could properly care for them, support them, give them the needed affection. Definitely won't be able to afford a child. If I have a child, I know deep down the life I could provide wouldn't be a good one, borderline heck. My wife and I have been together for 12 years and we both didn't want kids from the start. She got lucky and found a doctor to give her a tubal ligation at age 19. She was under her parents' insurance. I wasn't insured, and we've never regretted it. As for why, there are several reasons, mostly boiling down to knowing we value our ability to decide how our days are spent, coupled with not wanting to raise a child in an already overpopulated society that is doing everything it can to cannibalize itself ASAP. As others have said, if we do ever change our minds, we would rather give an orphaned kid a chance at a good life than make a baby. But we're in our 30s now and still have no second thoughts. I am absolutely terrified of giving birth and everything that comes with it. I genuinely have no idea why someone would willingly put themselves through something so hideously painful. Pregnancy is harsh on the human body too, and I'm fricked enough as it is. Also, I have no innate desire. I get clucky over puppies, not children. I'm too absent-minded that I forget to do important things like cleaning my apartment, and so I'm too scared that I could damage the children if I was responsible for them. There are so many reasons. The quickest one is there is not one single part of motherhood that appeals to me in any way, but some of the reasons for more depth include not wanting to go through pregnancy and childbirth, not wanting to lose out on sleep or money, not wanting to deal with other children, parents or teachers, not wanting to spend my weekends doing kid activities. I don't like the mess. I don't like the noise. I don't have the patience and would probably resent a kid and become a very miserable and mean person. I don't want to pass on certain traits and conditions. The list goes on. People always tell me I'll change my mind or regret it, but even if I did, I'd rather foster or adopt anyway. Because I don't see a cute plaything when I see a baby, I see a huge responsibility. A responsibility big enough that it will consume years of my life. It's not a puppy or a kitten that can survive in the house on its own. You literally need to be present with a baby all the time. Every action is going to factor into growing and shaping the destiny of that baby. The world is going to crap because we all have issues which can be traced back to our parents. Being a parent is the most important job on the planet. So stop giving birth to babies because they are cute. You are ruining the baby and the world we live in. I literally have a phobia of being pregnant and giving birth. To the point that my most common nightmare is finding out I'm pregnant whilst I'm already in labor. I hate the thought of children of my own. I'm too selfish. Like to be alone and enjoy doing too many solitary hobbies that would be disrupted by kids. Having someone relying on me to keep them alive is nightmare fuel for me. I just wanna chill and read my books. Kids love me. They're drawn to me, but I just don't want any of my own. I'm the best babysitter and will be the best auntie to my brother's kids whenever they arrive, but the only kids I'm having are my cats. God, same. I just can't understand how so many women aren't scared of pregnancy and birth at all and are even willing to have more children. I love toddlers running around, saying cutest things and how cute their clothing is and how they just smile and laugh out loud for the stupidest reason. I love all this, but for only couple hours, and I am not ready to trade my peace of mind and energy for this. My husband and I have a dog and in future hope to have couple more, and we foster kittens during the season, and at time that itself exhausts me and that just makes me believe more that I don't want kids. I have happily offered all my friends to babysit for them when they have kids. I think I would rather be a cool and chill aunt who hangs out with kids and have fun than a forever tired and regretting parent. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.